الثانية.
فرجهم. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. And Eid Mubarak to everyone, inshallah. We want to start our program by recitation of Asura, Suratul Fajr. And I request all brothers and sisters that could you please say loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والفجر وليال عشر والشفع والوتر والليل إذا يسر هل في ذلك قسم لذي حجر ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بعاد إرم ذات العماد التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد وثمود الذين جابوا الصخر بالواد وفرعون ذي الأوتاد الذين طغوا في البلاد فأكثروا فيها الفساد فصب عليهم ربك سوط عذاب إن ربك لبالمرصاد فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه فأكرمه ونعمه فيقول ربي أكرمن وأما إذا ما ابتلاه فقدر عليه رزقه فيقول ربي أهانن كلا بل لا تكرمون اليتيم ولا تحاضون على طعام المسكين وتأكلون التراث أكلا لما وتحبون المال حبا جما كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا وجاء ربك والملك صفا صفا وجيء يومئذ بجهنم يومئذ يتذكر الإنسان وأنى له الذكرى يقول يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي فيومئذ لا يعذب عذابه أحد ولا يوثق وثاقه أحد يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي صدق الله العلي العظيم. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Thank you.
جزاک اللہ استاد محترم. بر محمد و اہل بیت محمد صلوات. اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد وعجل فرجہم. We are commemorating and celebrating the birth anniversary of the last prophet of Allah, Mahbub Khuda, Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and sixth Imam, Imam Jafar bin Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Today, last majlis in the series of 5 majalis, I would like to thank Moulana Syed Jarri Haider to deliver such informative and knowledgeable information through his lectures. May Allah increase your tawfiqat, may Allah fulfill your hajat, inshallah. We are also thankful to all reciters and mu'mineen who participated in majalis and they recite beautiful manqabat and naat. May Allah accept your efforts, fulfill your hajat, inshallah. Par Muhammad wa ahl bayt Muhammad salawat. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. As Prophet already proved himself in the society Sadiq and Amin, he spent 40 years in the same society. He married their daughters and sisters and showed his generosity and good manners through good treatment with them. Allah said in Surah Qalam, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلْقٍ الْعَظِيمٍ, and indeed you are of a great moral character. In another ayah of Quran, Allah said, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رُسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ, verily in the messenger of Allah you have a good example. If we see the Prophet as a father and a grandfather, he always loves his daughter Sayyida Fatmatul Zahra, grandkids Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain, Sayyida Zainab and Sayyida Kulthum alayhi salatu wassalam. Prophet Muhammad used to kind-hearted to his children and used to kiss them and smell them. He is gentle with his children. Prophet Muhammad was concerned about his children and kept advising them. He was very careful about the rights of the children. He ordered his companion not to hit your children or slapped on their face. It's a great sin. Prophet Muhammad as an husband, the Messenger of Allah was very kind to his wives. He loved his wives. He was very gentle with his wives. He always take care of their feelings. He was just between the wives. He used to help them in performing household work. He never behaved them harshly, never hit or being rough to them. If we want to follow him in different way of life, being a businessman, being a leader, he is the best example for us. May Allah give us tawfiq to follow the footstep of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Bar Muhammad wa ahl bayt Muhammad salawat. چند اشعار. اے شہر علم و عالم اسرار خشک و تر، اے شہر علم و عالم اسرار خشک و تر، تو بادشاہ دی ہے تو سلطان و بحر و بر، تیرے حروف نطق الہی کا معجزہ، تیری حدیث سچ سے زیادہ معتبر، قرآن تیری کتاب، شریعت تیرا لباس، تیری ذرا نماز، روزہ تیری سپر، آیات تیرے حسن حد و حال کی مثال، واللیل تیرے زلف ہیں رخسار والقمر، یاسین تیرے نام پہ الہام کا غلاف، یاسین تیرے نام پہ الہام کا غلاف، طٰہٰ تیرا لقب ہے، شفاعت تیرا ہنر، محسن کے تیری راہ گزر کا فقیر ہے، محسن کے تیری راہ گزر کا فقیر ہے، اس پہ کرم دیار نبوت کے تاجور، دے رزق نطق مجھ کو بنام علی ولی، دے رزق نطق مجھ کو بنام علی ولی، یا بحر فاطمہ تیرا پارائے جگر، حسنین کے طفیل عطا کر مجھے بہشت، حسنین کے طفیل عطا کر مجھے بخشت، میری دعا کے رخ پہ چھڑک شبنم اثر، تیرے سوا دعا کے لیے کس کا نام لوں، تیرے سوا دعا کے لیے کس کا نام لوں، بعد از خدا بزرگ تو ہی قصہ مختصر، بر محمد و اہل بیت محمد صلوات. Now I would like to invite Brother Haider Abbas to recite Naat Rasul Makbul bar Muhammad wa Ahl Bayt Muhammad Salawat.
Allahu Akbar. Allah. چل فرج ہم آج کی محفل دیکھ کر یہ لگتا ہے کہ آج ہم ہی ریسائٹر ہیں اور ہم ہی لسنر ہیں، لیکن ہم نے تو مولانا صاحب کبھی گیو اپ نہیں کیا، کیونکہ ہم نے تو 15 سال اسی طرح سے، اور انشاءاللہ آگے بھی جب تک اللہ نے زندگی دی ہے محمد وآل محمد کی خدمت انشاءاللہ. صلوات بھیجیے اللہ. نام محمد کتنا میٹھا میٹھا لگتا ہے، نام محمد کتنا میٹھا میٹھا لگتا ہے، دونوں جہان سرکار کا صدقہ ایسا لگتا ہے، نام محمد کتنا میٹھا میٹھا لگتا ہے. یاد نبی کا گلشن مہکا مہکا لگتا ہے، یاد نبی کا گلشن مہکا مہکا لگتا ہے، محفل میں موجود ہے آقا ایسا لگتا ہے. یا رسول اللہ یا نام محمد کتنا میٹھا میٹھا لگتا ہے، لب پر نغمے صلی اللہ کے ہاتھوں میں کشکول، لب پر نغمے صلی اللہ کے ہاتھوں میں کشکول، دیکھو تو سرکار کا منگتا کیسا لگتا ہے، نام محمد کتنا میٹھا میٹھا لگتا ہے. غوث و کتب ابدال کلندر سب ان کے محتاج، غوث و کتب ابدال کلندر سب ان کے محتاج، میرا آقا سب ولیوں کا آقا لگتا ہے، نام محمد کتنا میٹھا میٹھا لگتا ہے. یاد نبی میں ہر دم رونا اچھا لگتا ہے، یاد نبی میں
ہر دم رونا اچھا لگتا ہے، ہم بھی طیبہ جائیں گے اب ایسا لگتا ہے، ہم بھی طیبہ جائیں گے اب ایسا لگتا ہے، نام محمد یاد نبی میں رونے والا ہم دیوانوں کو، یاد نبی میں رونے والا ہم دیوانوں کو، لاکھ پرایا ہو پھر بھی اپنا لگتا ہے، لاکھ پرایا ہو وہ پھر بھی اپنا لگتا ہے، نام محمد کتنا میٹھا میٹھا لگتا ہے، برائے خوشنودی محمد و آل محمد صلوات، صلی اللہ محمد و آل
جزاک اللہ جزاک اللہ. بار دیگر صلوات. اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد وعجل فرج. گولڑا شریف والے پیر صاحب نے یہ نعت پڑھی ہے. کون ہو مسند نشیں ہاک مدینہ چھوڑ کر، کون ہو مسند نشیں ہاک مدینہ چھوڑ کر، خلد دیکھے کون کوئی شاہ بطحا چھوڑ کر، اللہ اللہ آمد سلطان انس و جاں کی شان، اللہ اللہ آمد سلطان و انس و جاں کی شان، ایک طرف قدسی بھی ہو جاتے تھے رستہ چھوڑ کر، تھی نہ چاہت دل میں زہرا کے دلاروں کی اگر، تھی نہ چاہت دل میں زہرا کے دلاروں کی اگر، کیوں اترتے تھے نبی ممبر سے خطبہ چھوڑ کر، راہ روانے راہ حق تھے اور بھی لاکھوں مگر، کوئی منزل پر نہ پہنچا ابن زہرا چھوڑ کر، ان صحابہ کے انداز کنایت پر سلام، ان صحابہ کے انداز کنایت پر سلام، ان کی چوکھٹ پر جو آ بیٹھے تھے کیا کیا چھوڑ کر، وہ ازل سے میرے آقا میں غلام ابن غلام، کیوں کسی کے در پہ جاؤں ان کا صدقہ چھوڑ کر، بر محمد و اہل بیت محمد صلوات. اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد. Now I would like to invite Brother Sattar Shah to recite Naat Rasul Maqbool bar Muhammad wa Ahl Bayt Muhammad Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ya Allah, 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 mujhe tawfiq de, 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 jashn milad مناؤں میں یا اللہ توفیق دے، جشن میلاد مناؤں میں یا اللہ توفیق دے، گلیاں بازار سجاؤں میں یا اللہ توفیق دے، ذکر محمد میں ہی رہنا، ذکر محمد ہی کرنا، ذکر محمد ہی کرنا، ذکر محمد ہی کرنا۔ فرض اپنا نبھاؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے، عرضاں کر دے پین گدا سونیا، عرضاں کر دے پین گدا سونیا، سونیا۔ عید میلاد النبی ہے آئی، دل بڑا مسرور ہے، حاجت ہے اب جانے کی، جانا بھی ضرور ہے۔ عید میلاد النبی ہے آئی، دل بڑا مسرور ہے، حاجت ہے اب جانے کی، جانا بھی ضرور ہے۔ سرکار کے در پہ جاؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے، گلیاں بازار سجاؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے، جشن میلاد مناؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے۔ عرضاں کر دے پین گدا سونیا، عرضاں کر دے پین گدا سونیا، سونیا۔ میٹھے محمد پیارے محمد، آپ کی آمد کے صدقے، گھر گھر نور اجالے ہیں، گھر گھر نور اجالے ہیں۔ آمد کے جشن مناؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے، گلیاں بازار سجاؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے۔ عرضاں کر دے پین گدا سونیا، عرضاں کر دے پین گدا سونیا، سونیا۔ ورفعنا لک ذکرک، اللہ نے فرمایا ہے، آپ کی شان بڑھائی ہے، آخری نبی بنایا ہے۔ آپ ورفعنا لک ذکرک، اللہ نے فرمایا ہے آپ کی شان بڑھائی ہے، آخری نبی بنایا ہے۔ محفل نعت سجاؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے۔ محفل نعت سجاؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے۔ گلیاں بازار سجاؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے۔ جشن میلاد مناؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے۔ عرضاں کر دے پین گدا سونیاں سونیاں، عرضاں کر دے پین گدا سونیاں سونیاں۔ اویس قادری نعت ہے پڑھتا، اویس قادری نعت ہے پڑھتا، تیرے کرم کے سائے میں، نعت کے صدقے ہی پہنچے گا بے سایہ کے سائے میں۔ اویس قادری نعت ہے پڑھتا، تیرے کرم کے سائے میں، نعت کے صدقے ہی پہنچے گا بے سایہ کے سائے میں۔ خوشی سے جھومتا خوشی سے جھومتا جاؤں میں، خوشی سے جھومتا جاؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے۔ گلیاں بازار سجاؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے۔ جشن میلاد مناؤں میں، جشن میلاد مناؤں میں، یا اللہ توفیق دے۔ عرضاں کر دے پین گدا سونیاں سونیاں، عرضاں کر دے پین گدا سونیاں سونیاں، یا اللہ توفیق دے، یا اللہ توفیق دے۔
Jazakallah, Jazakallah. Now I would like to invite Brother On to recite Naat Rasul Maqbool bar Muhammad wa Ahl Bayt Muhammad Salawat.
Right. خوشنودی رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ وسلم بلندتر صلوات. برائے خوشنود مولا علی علیہ السلام بلندتر صلوات. منقبت کے چند اشعار ہیں. رسول اللہ کی ولادت، امام جعفر صادق کی ولادت والے دن رسول اللہ ہم سے صرف ولایت علی کے سوا اور کچھ توقع رکھتے نہیں ہیں، تو ایک اور دفعہ صلوات پڑھ دیجیے. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. وہ شیر غضنفر ایک طرف، وہ شیر غضنفر ایک طرف، فرار کا لشکر ایک طرف. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. وہ تخت و تاج کے دیوانے ہم ہو بے علی سے مالا مال. وہ تخت و تاج کے دیوانے ہم ہو بے علی سے مالا مال. وہ سارے بے زر ایک طرف، وہ سارے بے زر ایک طرف، ایک ابو ذر ایک طرف. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. جو جھولا جھلاتا ہے آ کر وہ ہے سردار فرشتوں کا. جو جھولا جھلاتا ہے آ کر وہ ہے سردار فرشتوں کا. وہ دارا سکندر ایک طرف، وہ دارا سکندر ایک طرف، زہرا تیرا نوکر ایک طرف. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. یا علی. نبیوں میں کوئی یوسف سا نہیں اور حق نے بنایا سب سے حسین. نبیوں میں کوئی یوسف سا نہیں اور حق نے بنایا سب سے حسین. وہ حسن کا پیکر ایک طرف، وہ حسن کا پیکر ایک طرف، شبیر کا اکبر ایک طرف. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. سفین میں چہرہ غازی سے پردے کو اٹھا کر بولے علی. سفین میں چہرہ غازی سے پردے کو اٹھا کر بولے علی. سب شام کا لشکر ایک طرف، سب شام کا لشکر ایک طرف، حیدر کا حیدر ایک طرف. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. یا علی. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. وہ شیر غضنفر ایک طرف، وہ شیر غضنفر ایک طرف، فرار کا لشکر ایک طرف. میرا مولا حیدر ایک طرف، سب مرحب و انتر ایک طرف. نعرہ حیدری.
جزاک اللہ, جزاک اللہ. Now I would like to invite Ustad Ali Zadeh to recite Naat Rasul Maqbool in Persian bar Muhammad wa Ahl Bayt Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh for everyone. Okay. Because these nights are the nights of the birthdays of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam and Imam Ja'far s.a alayhi salatu wa salam. So just a few share I have here in order to at least that we have mentioned and we have shared our interest to Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam and also Imam Ja'far s.a alayhi salatu wa salam. Although I haven't recited Nawha and also Manqabat, but now I should start. Okay. First of all, I want to recite a shair, one shair. گویند که مرتضی علی در نجف است. گویند که مرتضی علی در نجف است. در بلخ بیا ببین چه بیت الشرف است. جامی نه عدن گوی نه بین الجبلین. خورشید یکی و نور او هر طرف است. این بارگاه خسروی دین شاه عالم است. این بارگاه خسروی دین شاه عالم است که از رتبه فخر آدم و اولاد آدم است. این خرگهی است که از پی تعظیم او سپهر تا دور روزگار بود قامتش خم است. یا علی خبرم رسید امشب که نگار خواهی آمد. خبرم رسید امشب که نگار خواهی آمد. سر من فدای راه که سوار خواهی آمد. سر من فدای راه که سوار خواهی آمد. همه آهوان صحرا سر خود نهاده بر کف. همه آهوان صحرا سر خود نهاده بر کف. و امید آن که روزی به شکار خواهی آمد. خبرم رسید امشب که نگار خواهی آمد. سر من فدای راه که سوار خواهی آمد. بلبم رسید جانم تو بیا که زنده مانم. بلبم رسید جانم تو بیا که زنده مانم. پس از آن که من نمانم به چه کار خواهی آمد. خبرم رسید امشب که نگار خواهی آمد. سر من فدای راه که سوار خواهی آمد. کشیشی که عشق دارد نگذاردت بدینسان. کشیشی که عشق دارد نگذاردت بدینسان به جناز اگر نیایی به مزار خواهی آمد به جناز اگر نیایی به مزار خواهی آمد خبرم رسید امشب که نگار خواهی آمد سر من فدای راه که سوار خواهی آمد بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات اللهم صل علی محمد
Jazakallah, brother. Jazakallah. MashaAllah. Narae Takbir. Allahu Akbar. Narae Risalat. Ya Rasulullah. Narae Haidari. Ya Labbaik Ya Rasulullah. Labbaik Ya Rasulullah. Labbaik Ya Hussain. Labbaik Ya Hussain. Bar Muhammad o Ahl Bayt Muhammad salawat. Allah salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I would like to invite Qibla Moulana Syed Jarri Haider to recite Majlis-e Milad Mustafa bar Muhammad o Ahl Bayt Muhammad salawat.
رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين الغر الميامين ولعنة الدائمة الباقية على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم تركت فيكم ما إن تمسكتم بهما لن تضلوا بعدي كتاب الله وعترة أهل بيتي صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم صلوات على محمد وآل محمد صلى على محمد وآل محمد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We ask Allah Almighty that, Ya Allah, by the intercession of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Allah, please accept all of our hajat. Ya Allah, please forgive our marhumin. Ya Allah, please hasten the dhuhr of Imam Sahibul Zaman. Ya Allah, please make us among his companions and among his supporters. And Ya Allah, there are so many mu'mineen that are going through so much struggle, so much illnesses and so many problems. And please include one of my really close relatives too, Sayyida Sardar Fatima. She's going through an eye surgery that she has been to. We ask Allah Almighty that, Ya Allah, please give shifa and cure to every ill believer and Muslim, inshallah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal farajahum. So today, inshallah, finally our fifth lecture of our 5-lecture series that happened regarding 3 events that we covered. First was the Eid al-Zahra salamullah alayha. Then second, the two lectures that we had were on the topic of Imam Sadiq, where we discussed a little bit about details that he has to go through, how was he able to confront the challenges that he was coming across. And lastly, in two lectures, the first lecture that we have already delivered, and inshallah we would be going to deliver one more today, that will be on the topic of the Prophet Muhammad being the prophet of our time, being the prophet of 21st century. So yesterday we went through a little bit the theological aspect, that why Prophet Muhammad is really relevant even for today. And we discussed some of the points that, see, Prophet is said to be as rahmat for all universe, not for one person, not for two people, not for one group of people, but he is a source of guidance. He's a source of lesson. He's a giver of a good news. He is warner for everyone present in this world, right? So we discussed some of the verses, we discussed some of the revise and the reports that we have. And finally, inshallah, today we will be talking a little bit about the practical aspect of how can we relate the things that he has done in his life, and how are those applicable to today's life, right? So inshallah, are you guys ready? Inshallah. So today we will be going through this, and before I do so, I would like to thank every believer here in Saskatoon and everyone that attended the lecture, everyone who recited, and the management here. They have done tremendous effort, and everyone that was here that participated in one way or another, be it through recitation, be it through reciting the poetry, be it through reciting the qasida, be just by being present here, be it just by listening online. We thank everyone from the bottom of the heart for the efforts that they have done, and I'm really honest that I have got a lot of love from all of you, and inshallah I pray to Allah that, Ya Allah, please fulfill all of our hajat, and especially the hajat of the mu'mineen of Saskatoon, inshallah. You guys were doing amazing job, wonderful job. One thing that I would really like to appreciate, and I'm not sure if that's the right way to put in or not, but the unity that I feel between the communities here is exemplary. It's something that we should look forward to. The Afghanis are coming in, the Iranians and the Pakistanis, within Pakistanis and Indians, you have people from different backgrounds who are coming here, and all of them are united under the banner of Wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So I would really want to congratulate you on this auspicious occasion too, but also for the efforts that you are putting in order to have combined efforts. May Allah inshallah keep this unity between all of you. I think unity is one lesson that I have taken from this life that I have gone through, that if you are united, if you put resources for the cause of Allah, the result would be bigger and would be beneficial to most of the people. But if we would divide ourselves, if we would make small communities, our efforts are divided, our crowd is divided, our resources are divided, we kind of backbite more about each other, and like the lillahiyat goes away completely, right? So I would like to congratulate you, and inshallah it was my pleasure to go and be part of the protest that happened for those innocent ladies that were killed in Afghanistan. Wallahi ladhim, it really broke my heart when I went there. Really small kids, and the way they were brutally massacred. We ask Allah Almighty for our Afghan brothers too, inshallah. May Allah ease their difficulties, the difficulties that they're going through. It's easier for us to live here. Think about the people that are being regularly targeted by Daesh, by other terrorist organizations, by Taliban, by other people too. We ask Allah Almighty to, Ya Allah, that please make their trial a little bit easier, and inshallah may Allah make all the efforts that they are doing in order to uplift the Shia community there. Inshallah, may Allah make it really sustainable, Ya Allah. Coming to the lecture really quickly, these were some of the words of appreciation that I have for this beautiful community, and as we have hadith, that someone who doesn't thank the creation doesn't thank Allah. So it's my token of appreciation, my token of thanks to all of you. May Allah bless you all, inshallah. Coming to the lecture, and one last thing, honestly, it would be injustice if I wouldn't mention are like the muhabbat that I got, the love that I got from the management here too. Allah, like the first day I came in, I requested I need this and this. They got me all the stuff. So mashallah, like the first day, thank you so much for all the efforts that you have done. May Allah bless you all, inshallah, for all the efforts and all the muhabbat that you have shown. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how are some of the ways that we can go through his life? there are three ways that we can look when we go through the seerah, right? Unfortunately, we are not even at stage one. We are not even at stage one. There are three ways that you can look into the history of the Prophet. The first way that you can look into the history of the Prophet is what happened to him since he was born all the way till he was martyred, right? So 63 years of age that he got. What were some of the major events that took place? How was he able to face some of the difficulties that he has to go through? How was he able to preach the message? So you just go through like in a very chronological order, and you go through the history of the Prophet, right? The way someone would relate their history to that I was born this date, my father was this, my mother was this, and then gradually started going to school. Then from school I went to college, and then from college I went to university. From university I had this internship. Then from this internship I did this job, that job, and then gradually you tell about your story till you tell like I'm like 60 years old or 70 years old. Now mashallah I have these number of grandchildren, right? So you gradually tell about what happened in your life. What were some of the major events that came in? This is one way of looking at the history of the Prophet. So generally the books of the seerah that are written, they are written like this. When was he born? What was the place he was born? What was the name of his father and mother? Where did he actually grown up, and what were some of the things that he had to face? What time was he sent as a prophet? What were some of the difficulties that he had to face in the period of Makkah? What were some of the difficulties that he had to see in the period of Medina? What were some of the battles that he had to fight? What were some of the wars that he has dispatched people to go in? What were some of the major ayahs that were revealed on different occasions? So this is one way of looking at the seerah of the Prophet. And generally when we talk about the seerah, this is the way what we mean. Oh, when was Prophet born? What were some of the major events happen? Unfortunately, we don't even know the stage one. I was complaining about it yesterday, and I would complain it about today too. More I would complain, better we would have this accounting within us, that we would reflect what are we doing physically and practically, and we can change ourselves for better. MashaAllah, I mean, like you have Moulanas coming here, you have so many people coming here. A little bit about the history of the Prophet is always good. At the end of the day, if there is one example that Allah has said in Quran, out of a lot of examples, it is the example of the Prophet. قَدْ كَانَتْ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. That for you, in the personality of the Prophet, you have the best of example. And we are, mashallah, not a risalat, not a hazri, but okay, what do we know about the Prophet? How much? Does even someone know that how many uncles he had, how many chachas he had? Probably we don't have an answer. What were some of the names of his wife? Give me 5 names. We might know Sayyidah Khadija, we might know 1 or 2 here and there, we might know Sayyidah Salma, but who next? Does someone know about Sauda? Does someone know about Zainab? Does someone know about Maymuna? Someone knows about Safiya? All of these, right? How much we know about the personalities that were related to the Prophet? How much we know about the uncles of the Prophet? We know about Hazrat Abu Talib. We know about Hazrat Hamza, right? But how about Hazrat Zubayr? How about Harith, right? How about Abbas? How about the other companions that were closely related to the Prophet? Do we even know the name of the puppy of the Prophet, Sayyidah Safiya? Who was she? Right? So all of these details. I'm not saying that these are the details that we should focus. If you're not like, this is stage 1, as I'm saying. We should not eye only for stage 1. But if we were to start somewhere, we should actually start from stage 1. Right? That's one way of going through the life of the Prophet. The second stage that you go through the life of the Prophet is you dissect the information that comes in. You do tahleel, you do tanqeed, right? You kind of like focus on some of the details that are coming in, and you try to relate what happened during his lifetime. Are some of the details that are mentioned in the book of history are actually authentic or not? Can I give you an example? You see, Prophet went for so many wars. He had Battle of Badr, he had Battle of Uhud, he had Battle of Khandaq, he had Battle of Khaybar, he had Battle of Hunain, he had Battle of Ghazwa Bani Mustalaq. Different battles he had. Someone questions you, why was he having so many battles? So if we are at stage 1, we will probably know the number of battles he has been to. Number of battles he has been to. Okay, that's good information. But someone would right question you there and then. Your Prophet was, na'udhu billah, someone who wanted to invade different lands. His message was not divine message. If his message was so divine, why was he going for so many wars with different people? Have you heard this objection? The Prophet was a warrior. He was not a prophet. He was a warrior. He was a warlord. He would try to go and fight with different people. And Islam was being spread through force, through sword, through weapons. What answer do we have? Unfortunately, we're not, as I said, we're not even at stage 1. How would we answer the question that is for stage 2? What would be our answer? So we have to go battle by battle. What actually was the reason the Prophet went into battle of Badr? What was the reason he went to the battle of Uhud? Why did he had a battle in Khaybar? Why was he fighting with the people? What was the reason the peace treaty that happened in Sulh Hudaybiyah was being broken? Why Prophet invaded Makkah in 8 Hijrah? What was the reason the Mubahila happened? What was the reason different other wars and battle happened? Why Prophet went to Ta'if? Why Prophet went to Hunain? Why did they have battle there? Why was Prophet taking people as slaves? Why was Prophet taking the money and the belongings they have as the spoils of the war? Is it completely fine or not? Who would answer these questions? We don't even know the stage 1. How can we answer stage 2? Right? That's stage 2 to go through. And finally you have stage 3, a really important stage. This stage requires extra effort, extra research, extra interpolation. How do you do that? You go through bit by bit what happened in the lifetime of the Prophet, and then you take the lessons out of it and you try to apply in your daily life. This is called what? Stage 3. Now I just don't know the history. I know the history. I also know the answers to some of the accusations, some of the objections that are being forward against the Prophet. I have passed those 2 stages. I know the answer. Now the 3rd stage is there. That when Prophet made brotherhood, what is the lesson that he wants the Muslim of this time to learn? When Prophet did this, what is the lesson I can extract and I can apply it in today's life? Can I ask you a question? Why Quran exactly always mention the story of Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wassalam? Surah Qasas, you go, it's a whole story about Prophet Musa. How was he able to fight against Pharaoh? How was he able to fight against the internal enemies in Banu Israel? What happened? What were some of the trials that he had to go through? Not one surah, Suratul Anbiya, again the same message. Suratul Baqarah, again the same message. Suratul Taha, Suratul Qasas, so many surahs. The story of Prophet Musa is mentioned. Was Allah just trying to give you stories, so just before going to bed, you listen to those stories and you go to bed? Were these kind of stories like these? Or did Allah want to give us a message? You had the stories of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam. Allah said what? Ahsanul Qasas. The best of the stories that Allah revealed. Suratul Yusuf. What is the lesson that we should take? Was Allah just trying to give you some of the examples randomly? If Allah just wanted to mention the stories, why did He only mention 25 prophets in the Quran? Why only 25? He could have mentioned 2,500. Story of each and every prophet, like the way we write a book. Stories about the Prophet. Prophet Ayub, one line. He was born here, he lived here, he did this. When Quran mentioned the story, Quran didn't used to mention he was born here, this was his lineage, this was his father, this was his mother. The Quran would only mention the relevant details that are connected to our life. Isn't it? So when we are going through the life of the Prophet, how much do we take and interpolate the information that we have from the life of the Prophet to our lives? How much? Unfortunately, not much. And Quran has given us the explicit information, explicit instruction that we have to follow the Prophet. 1 ayah, no. 2 ayats, no. 3, 4, so many ayats. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Man yuti'u rasula faqad ata'a Allah. Anyone who follows Rasul, anyone who follows the Prophet, it is as if he has followed Allah Almighty. One ayah, the second ayah. مَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. That if Prophet gives you something or he gives you an order, take that order, take that thing. And if Prophet forbids you from anything, he obstructs you from anything, then don't go for that thing. Third ayah, إِن كُنتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهِ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهُ وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبُكُمْ. That you claim to love Allah. Oh my people, everyone here, you all claim to love Allah? The answer would be what? Yes. That's our fundamental belief, that we have respect for Allah. We love Allah. There is no question about it. Wonderful, you love Allah? Then Prophet said, if you love Allah, then you should follow me. I should be the one that should be followed. If you would love Allah, you would follow me, Allah will love you in return, and Allah will forgive your sins. Right? So when we actually read about the story of the Khaybar, there was only one personality that Rasulullah said about. What does Rasulullah say? لا أعطين رأية رجلا كرارا غير فرار. That I'm giving this flag to who? To someone who would not run away. He is a really brave and courageous person. يحب الله ورسوله ويحبه الله ورسوله. He is someone that loves Allah and His Prophet, and Allah and His Prophet also loves that personality. Ya Ali. Who was that personality? Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So you see, the fourth ayah, and this ayah we always use to prove the imamat of Imam alayhimus salam. Suratul Nisa, the ayat of Ulul Amr. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu ati'u Allah wa ati'u rasula wa ulul amri minkum. That, O believers, you have to follow whom? You have to follow Allah. And you also have to follow Rasul and the people that are in command. This is our understanding, this is our ruling, and this is our reasoning. We say the way Prophet is to be followed, likewise you have to follow Ulul Amr too. Do you get my point? Right? So the following that you would do for the Prophet, the same following you have to do for the person in charge. If you say Yazid was Ulul Amr, if you would say Ibn Ziyad was Ulul Amr, then there was no way that you could follow them, of course, right? So Ulul Amr are only the 12 Imams that we believe in. Ma'soom, Muftarad al-Ta'a, someone that have to be followed without any if and buts. Right? So these are all verses that we have to go through that proves how important it is for us to refer back to the Prophet. Now I'm going to mention some of the stories from the lifetime of the Prophet, and inshallah we can connect those stories to our lifetime, and then we can see how much can we change ourselves. Right? The first problem that we have within our communities, right? Backbiting. Fighting, saying this is Pakistani, this is Arab, this is Iranian, this is Afghani, right? Within Pakistani, this is from this group, this is from Karachi, this is from Lahore, this is from this, and this is from that. So many differences. Today, I would say, I'm not sure if that's the right thing to say or not. Perhaps you wouldn't like it, but it's okay, I can say it last month, inshallah. The Shias in general are the people that are most divided among all other communities. Most divided. Yes, we have this unity within us when it comes to the time of Arba'in. We have this unity within us when it comes to the time of Azadari. But generally, It's like he belongs from this group, he belongs from that group, he is not good, he's not good. Backbiting, going to this house, going to that house, talking about this person, talking about that person. Oh, I was being called and I didn't recite the Noha. I was supposed to recite Noha. Even 10 Nohas have already happened in a majlis. But the 11th person had this dispute. I wasn't being asked to go. Okay, were you doing for the love of Ali Muhammad? If you were doing for love of Ali Muhammad have accepted it, whether you read or not. Right? Sometimes we have this problem, Moulana, we gave you the names of the marhumin, you didn't take their names. Okay, if I didn't take the name, does it mean Allah would somehow wouldn't know who am I referring to? You get my point? So if you have the intention within you, Allah would definitely accept that intention, even if you're not able to do so. You saved up all your money. You wanted to go for the vacation to visit Arba'in, to visit Sayyid al-Shuhda. But unfortunately, you didn't get off from your work, or you had some sort of emergency that you were not able to go through. Do you think Allah is so stingy that He wouldn't give you the reward for your intention? Allah will give you the reward for your intention. That's why you say, فَيَا لَيْتَنِي كُنْتُ مَعَكُمْ فَأَفُوزَ مَعَكُمْ فَوْزًا عَظِيمًا. That, oh, the martyrs of Karbala, I wish if I could be with you and I could have got the same reward the way you got. Right? So one problem we have, Shias divided, Shias having no unity. The same problem. Now, prophet for 21st century, prophet for the Shias that are fighting nowadays. Right? The Shias that don't want to look each other. The Shias that are pretty much divided along the lines and along the color and along so many other things that God knows. MashaAllah, you can name 15, 20 things more that are reason for division, right? But you see the Prophet. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he had to go through the struggle in Sha'b, Abi Talib, you know, there was a social and economic boycott that he had to go through. Once social and economic boycott ended, Abu Talib alayhi salatu wasalam was not anymore in the world. Sayyidah Khadija was also not there. So Prophet was pretty much left alone. At that point of time, he wanted to move outside Makkah because Makkah was getting hostile to a point that he was not able to do the tabligh the way he wanted to do so. Right? At that moment, roughly around few years after the death of Hazrat Abu Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, there was a group that came in from Medina. 6 people. By the way, in Medina, they had 2 tribes. One was called what? Khazraj. Really important information. I want everyone to concentrate here. Khazraj. The other tribe was called what? Awas. Right? Awas and Khazraj. Right? They used to fight a lot. They were having battles for ages. For years they were having the battles. And they were not united. They belonged to the same community, from the same land. But they were fighting each other a lot. 6 people from Khazraj came in. Some general information, who were the 6 people that came in, and the first pledge of allegiance happened, that's called what? Bay'atul Ula al-Aqaba. The first pledge of allegiance that happened. Who were the 6 people? Jabir bin Abdullah al-Ansari, As'ad bin Zarara, Auf bin Haris, Haritha bin Thalabiyya. Likewise, you had someone, As'ad, there was a 5th person, Asad, and the 6th person, Fatana bin Amr. 6 people came in. They all belonged to a tribe, Khazraj. They had a meeting with the Prophet. You know, the first thing, I don't want to go into a lot of details of what happened in the meeting. I just want to relate one message that we can connect it to today's one. Right? Prophet for 21st century, right? They had a meeting with the Prophet. They said that inna qad tarakna qawmana, that we have left our people behind us in Medina. Medina used to be called what? Yathrib, right? Yathrib was the old name. We left our people in Yathrib, right? وَلَا قَوْمَ بَيْنَنَا أَكْثَرَ مِنَ الْعَدَاوَةِ وَالشَّرِّ أَكْثَرَ مِنْهُمْ. That if you take all the nations of the world, there wouldn't be any people that fight with each other, that have animosity against each other, that doesn't look with love with each other. The most as our own people, we have the most animosity against each other. Ya Allah. So much animosity, so much hatred, so much differences we had. And then they said a line. They said, Asa an yajma'allah baynana bika. That, O Prophet, we wish that if Allah can combine us and unite us through you. Right? So Prophet was who? Was someone who brought people together. So Prophet said, of course, I am the person that will be responsible for bringing the people together. So this first Pledge of Allegiance happened. Second time, roughly around 12 people came from Medina. 12 people, next year in Hajj. So every year they will come in Hajj. So first time 6 people came in. The next time there were 12 people that came in. Some were from Khazraj, and now there were some other people from Awas too. They had the same conversation again. And third time there were 73 people that came in. 73 people from Medina that came in. You know, the second time they came in, they gave the Pledge of Allegiance. What is Pledge of Allegiance called in Arabic? Bay'ah. Bay'at in Urdu, right? Bay'at in Farsi, in Urdu we call what? Bay'at, right? They gave the bay'at. What was that bay'at? There were some things that we can take even from the bay'at that happened the first time. That bay'at is called what? Bay'atun nisa. The same Pledge of Allegiance that the woman used to give. Those people gave the first Pledge of Allegiance like that. What is that Pledge of Allegiance? Even Allah has mentioned, Ya ayyuhan nabi, idha ja'aka al-mu'minatu yubayi'naka ala an la yushrikna billahi shay'a. That, O Prophet, when the believer women come to you, so they can give you the Pledge of Allegiance. And what are some of the conditions of Pledge of Allegiance? That they would never commit shirk, they would never associate partner with Allah Almighty. Wala yasrikna. And they would not steal things from the people. Wala yaznina. And they would never commit adultery. Wala yaqtulna awladahunna. And they would never kill their own children. Fourth thing. The fifth thing, وَلَا يَأْتِينَ بِبُهْتَانٍ بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِنَّ وَأَرْجُلِهِنَّ. And they would never concoct a lie. They would never fabricate a lie against each other. وَلَا يَعْصِينَكَ فِي مَعْرُوفٍ. And they would never disobey you in good things. فَبَايِعُنَّ. Then take the Pledge of Allegiance. وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لَهُنَّ اللَّهِ. And ask for the forgiveness to Allah Almighty for them. Inna Allaha ghafur rahim. Verily Allah is the one that forgives and is extremely compassionate towards His people. Can we take some of the lessons from this first Pledge of Allegiance? Never associate partners with Allah. Whatever action we do, we don't do it to show the people. We just do it for the sake of Allah. Sake of Allah only. Secondly, we don't steal the things. Thirdly, we don't commit adultery. Fourth, we don't kill our kids. Fifth, really important, never fabricate a lie for each other. Oh, I think he's doing this because he is like this. Okay, what proof I have? Do I have any proof? No. And sixth thing, وَلَا يَعْصِينَكَ فِي مَعْرُوفٍ. And they don't disobey you in any good thing that you order. How many good things that we listen from the teachings of Ali Muhammad, and how much do we apply in our lives? Was that Pledge of Allegiance only for that time, or is that Pledge of Allegiance still acceptable today too? So the riwayah says when Prophet took the Pledge of Allegiance, he dispatched Mus'ab bin Umair, a young boy from Makkah, Mus'ab, a really famous companion. He went there and he started preaching the message of Allah, the message of the Prophet to the people of Medina. And a time came in that all of the Medina converted to Muslims except 3 households. Imagine one person doing the tabligh. This is a companion we don't mention. This is a companion who resembled Prophet so much that when Mus'ab died in the battle of Uhud, people thought that was Prophet Muhammad who died. Imagine. Unfortunately, we don't even mention some of our really good companions. How much do we actually mention some of the companions that laid their lives for the message of Islam? How much? Do we know about Uthman bin Maz'un? Do we know about As'ad bin Zarara? Do we know about Sa'ad bin Ubadah? Do we know about Sa'ad bin Mu'az? How much do we know about these personalities? Do we know about Zayd bin Haritha? Do we know about Ja'far al-Tayyar? All of these companions. The Shias, they respect companions that were loyal to the family of household. Yes, we don't have respect for the people that were against the family of the household. But the people that laid their lives, Abu Dhar, Salman, Miqdad, Hashim al-Mirqal, Ammar bin Yasir, Sa'ad bin Ubadah, Qais bin Sa'ad bin Ubadah. So many of them. How much we know? Nothing. But the person, Mus'ab, he did tabligh, and there were only 3 households in Medina that were left. 3 households. And whole Medina, they converted to Islam nearly. Next time they came, and there were 73 people that requested Prophet that you should come in and you should be living with us, not with the people of Makkah. So Prophet just didn't enforce his immigration to the people. Those were the people that wanted Prophet to live with them. So see, Prophet, by even going to Medina, he didn't get help from the people of Medina. He gave help to the people of Medina. He made them close to each other. And the time came in when Battle of Badr happened. The people of Medina were fighting too against Kuffar. The people of Makkah that migrated, they were fighting alongside with the people of Medina too. They all were one people, one brotherhood. Right? And when we're talking about the brotherhood, we have this narration. What does it say? And we go through the Surah Hujurat. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَ أَخْوَيْكُمْ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. That, O believers, you all are brothers to each other. So if there is a dispute that happened between each other, try to reconcile that difference. Try to bring both of your brothers close to each other. And yes, have fear of Allah too. Because if you would have fear of Allah, then probably if you do it the right way, Allah would have mercy on you. Here, when we have 2 brothers fighting each other, imagine I'm fighting with some other person. Let's suppose his name is Hassan, right? I'll call Hassan, I'll be like, oh, this is happening to you? Oh, he did so bad with you. You're doing right thing. Then he would have conversation with me and he would say, you are doing the right thing, he did with you. Am I adding more fuel to the fire, or I'm trying to calm the fire? We're just thinking like it's a Netflix season for us, right? It's a beautiful show for us. Oh, okay, these 2 things are happening between our community members. Wow. Okay, he did this. Oh my God. Astaghfirullah. Okay, what did you say? We try to enjoy when there is a difference between the people. We try to take it like as a new drama that comes in, right? MashaAllah, we are so used to looking into our movies, dramas and everything. We enjoy it. MashaAllah. 2 mu'mineen are having difference. Let's have more differences between them. Never let this come to your community. And I hope it's not there. I hope it's not there. You have differences with any other believer, go and sit with him. Say, brother, I have this difference with you. I didn't feel good the way you treated me. I didn't want to say it to the whole community. I just wanted to say you right to your face. Let's try to reconcile the difference. And if you see 2 believers that are having differences, don't add any fuel. Try to calm them. Try to have them talk and try to have them reconcile their own differences. That's why when Prophet went there, the riwayah says, "Akha Rasulullah bayna nas ala qadri manazilihim." The riwayah says, the report says that when Prophet went to the Medina, he created brotherhood based on the traits that people shared with each other, based on the traits that they shared. So the common people were made brothers of each other. Who were made brothers of each other? Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas and Sa'id bin Zayd. First, Talha and Zubayr. Uthman and Abdurrahman ibn Auf, Abu Bakr and Umar, Aisha and Hafsa, all of these, the same people with same mindset, they were made brothers of each other. Hamza and Zayd ibn Haritha, both were martyred later, right? Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, Mus'ab bin Umayr, they were made brothers of each other. Ammar ibn Yasir, likewise Ammar was made brother of Miqdad alayhi salatu wasalam. Two like-minded people were made. When Prophet made brothers of each other, so this is a brotherhood that we want. And I was talking to some of my youth here, like three really young lads were sitting with me, and I said we should have this brotherhood group, study group that we should have. We should have conversation, we should have meeting. Where's the brotherhood that we need to have? The brotherhood that Prophet created. Is that brotherhood present in Saskatoon? Is that brotherhood present in Toronto where I live? Is that brotherhood present among the communities living all across the Canada? Probably not. How much actually we help each other when a new immigrant comes in. If you cannot do any help, try to help him doing grocery. Not through your own money, but just take him to the grocery store. Simplest of things. You cannot do anything, you can make resume, make good resume of him. You cannot do anything, refer him. But do something. Don't just think that, by just saying, Ya Allah, please help him. It's all done. No. Allah would only help if you help yourself. Allah would never try to help you if you don't try to help yourself. You want to make this community strong? I mean, alhamdulillah, Saskatoon people are way forward than many other people that I have seen. But there's still a lot of room for improvement. There are so many new immigrants that are coming from Hazara. Isn't it? What efforts we have put in? How much have we supported them? Where is that brotherhood? Probably if Prophet was alive at this time, he would have created brotherhood. Okay, this brother is with this brother that comes every Thursday in the mosque. This brother, the new one that came in, with this brother. Prophet actually did. But when Prophet did, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu was-salam was not made brother of anyone. To which Prophet came to Amir al-Mu'mineen and said, Ya Ali, Anta akhi wa ana akhuka. That, oh Ali, you are my brother and I am your brother. That's why. There are some of the reports that say. Some of the reports says that when Amir al-Mu'mineen was not made brother of anyone, he came to the Prophet and he basically asked that, you made everyone as brothers of each other. What about me? And the Prophet says, Ma akhartuka illa li nafsi. That I didn't make you brother of anyone because I wanted you to be my brother. Anta minni bimanzilati Haruna min Musa illa annahu la nabiyya ba'di. That, oh Ali, your position to me is the position of Harun to Musa. But there is no prophet after me. Wa anta akhi fi dunya wal akhirah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Oh Ali, you are my brother in this world and also in hereafter. That's why it says there is another tradition that talks about the merit that Amir al-Mu'mineen has. When Prophet would go on the day of judgment, there will be a voice that would come from the arsh of Allah that says, Ya Rasulullah, ni'mal ab, abuka Ibrahim. What a beautiful father you have in the form of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. Wa ni'mal akh, akhuka Ali. Ya Ali. Ya Ali. Salawat Allah. So, see here, brotherhood is so important. Even Prophet created brotherhood for himself too. If Prophet can create a brotherhood, then who are we? Right? So, message that we can take, brotherhood, forming a unified community. The Prophet did. We have to import the message that we got and we have to apply it here, execute it here. Another message that we can possibly take, and inshallah with this I would try to end my lecture too. that when we are going through the struggles, when we are going through the psychological warfare that people are using against us, so there is a message that you can take from the life of the Prophet. What does the riwayah says? The riwayah is mentioned in Tafsir al-Qummi. Tafsir al-Qummi says that when Muslims were partially defeated, initially in Battle of Uhud they were winning. They were winning to an extent that people from the other camp, they started running towards Makkah. When they started running towards Makkah, Prophet had 50 group of companions, and he has ordered them that they should not leave their place from a really narrow strip that was present there. So out of those 50, 38 people left in order to collect the spoils of war. Only 12 people were remaining. So Khalid ibn Walid, he attacked from the back area, and those 12 Muslims were slaughtered. And suddenly the tide of the war changed, and Muslims were caught off guard, and they started losing. So then Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salatu wassalam was the only one, by the way, only one. Other people, they flew, right? Amir al-Mu'minin was the only one that was protecting the Prophet. And while he was protecting the Prophet, right, Abu Sufyan started screaming, A'la hubul, A'la hubul. Do you know what does it mean? That may our God, whatever God he had, one of the name of the idol was what? Hubul, right? May Hubul be exalted. Do you get my meaning? Prophet said, now this is a psychological warfare. Obviously Amir al-Mu'minin is himself. And then you see the slogans. Imagine in today's world, believers, they are really in small quantity. And then you have media, then you have so many people preaching against the values that Islam teaches, right? And then they're using those fancy slogans. Prophet said to Amir al-Mu'minin that, O Ali, reply him with, Allahu a'la wa ajal. Allah is the most exalted one. Allah is the most superior one. When Amir al-Mu'minin replied to Abu Sufyan like this, Abu Sufyan replied back that, don't you see that how Allah has favored us? Amir al-Mu'minin said, no, Allah has favored us. Your people that are killed, they're going to the hellfire, and our martyrs, they're going to the Jannah. How can you make it really equal between us and you? Then Abu Sufyan said, at that moment, as I said, people started thinking that Prophet Muhammad was being killed. Why? Mus'ab bin Umar, when he was killed, people started thinking that Prophet Muhammad was being slaughtered, right? And that was a really difficult moment for the Muslims there. So Abu Sufyan wanted to check the authenticity, whether Prophet is killed or not. He said, Ya Ali, as'aluka, see this question, Ya Ali, as'aluka bihaqqi Lati wal Uzza an takhbarani hal qutila Muhammad? That, O Ali, I give you the intercession of Lat and Uzza. I give you the haqq of Lat and Uzza. You tell me, is Prophet alive or not? Muhammad is alive or not? Amir al-Mu'minin could have given the answer, yes, Prophet is alive, it's fine. Psychological warfare, right? Amir al-Mu'minin has to be shown stern. He has to be stern against the enemies of Allah. Amir al-Mu'minin replied a beautiful reply. He says, لَعْنَكَ اللَّهُ وَلَعْنَ اللَّاتَ وَالْعُزَّ مَعَكَ. May Allah send His curse on you, O Abu Sufyan, and also and Lat and Uzza with you too. So see, Amir al-Mu'minin, no mercy for the enemies of Allah. Abu Sufyan, the enemy of Allah. Abu Sufyan, it's a topic of majalises. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا Abu Sufyan. You don't know who Abu Sufyan was. The wretched person, the mal'oon person, honestly. It's enough for introduction for Abu Sufyan that he was the husband of Hinda. And he was the father of Muawiyah. Father of Muawiyah. If Muawiyah was something, then the father of Muawiyah was something else. Right? So this was Abu Sufyan. So see the psychological warfare, and my youth especially. One last message, inshallah, we conclude the majlis and the milad today. One last message that I want to take want all of you to take from this majlis is whenever you come across, whenever you are confronted with any psychological warfare, physical warfare is easy. Easy. You know your enemy. You know where to strike. You know their weak points. Easy. It's only happening in battlefield. It'll probably happen for a year, for 2. Something like Iran and Iraq, it happened 8 years. Something like Afghanistan and US, it happened 20 years, right? But there will be a time that this battle would end, right? But the psychological warfare would never end. Never. A brother asked me a beautiful question. See, the psychological warfare that people used to do in the time of Makkah. One of the brother, he sent me a question and he was just like, I was imprisoned in Pakistan and I was saying Ya Ali Madad, Ya Rasulullah Madad. But I didn't get any help from Prophet and Ali. I was beaten by the Nawasib. I was beaten by the enemies of Ahlul Bayt. No one came to support me. Right? It's a good question. But can I tell you something? When Allah loves you the most, He takes you and He gives you more trials than you would have before. That's a lesson. Lesson, inshallah. Al-Kafi, you go. The reports that we have from Ahlul Bayt are really explicit. Inshallah, I'm just taking 5 minutes more, right? It's okay, inshallah? 5 minutes more, inshallah. Inshallah. Today I was given mic earlier, so it's my day today, inshallah. So, in Al-Kafi we have reports. And inshallah, this will ease a lot of problems that my youth are going through. The mental stress is not madaq. It's not something which is a fun, right? It is something real. Unfortunately, our community, they don't focus a lot on mental health. But we should focus on mental health. We should have counselors that should counsel our youth, our people that are going through so much struggle, right? It's a topic of a different day. But let me give you a talk. Let me give you a little bit hadith of Ahlul Bayt that can really motivate us. The hadith says, the example of the belief of a believer, of a mu'min, is the example of the scale. Have you seen tarazu? Tarazu and the scale? I'm not sure what you say in Farsi, tarazu? Tarazu, right? So tarazu, what does it mean? Like in old days, that would you go? Even in today, they would put mangoes in one thing. I like mangoes so much, I'm missing mangoes, right? So mangoes in right place, and then they would have the weight on the left side. So the higher the weight they put in, the more number of mangoes they have to put in, more number of apples they have to put in, more number of oranges they have to put in. Why? Because they have to balance it. Imagine you were taking 1 kg, they were like 4 mangoes. Now they put 2 kgs, you have to put 8 mangoes. 3 kgs, 12. 4, 16. 5, 20. So now more and more weight that you're putting in, more and more mangoes you have to put in. Hadith says that the belief of the believer is like that of a scale. More he increases in the iman, more trials come in order to balance that scale. So my brother that went through this struggle, when he was saying, Ya Ali Madad, Ya Rasulullah Madad, Ali was proud of you that you're going through the struggle. Prophet was proud of you that you were going through the struggle. Why? Because Prophet and Ali wanted you to have maximum faith, so you can go through maximum punishment here and you get maximum reward in hereafter. You get my point? Don't feel happy if you're living so comfortably in Canada. Your reward will be lesser. People that are struggling in Afghanistan, people that are struggling in Parachanar, people that are struggling in Quetta, people that are struggling in Pakistan, in Lahore, Karachi, and they're being targeted because of their belief, their reward is so higher than us. Sorry to say, sorry to break this bad news. This is reality. What do you think? If he is practicing his faith when he has weapons on top of him, and when he is actually being targeted by the enemies of Ahlul Bayt there, would it be same I'm coming to Hussaini here and listening to a lecture and getting a really good niyaz afterwards? Of course not. Of course not. Not all of them are equal. That's why, one last thing. My brothers and sisters, this is a really emotional story that we have. Who were the first martyr of Islam? Who were the first martyr? The father of Ammar ibn Yasir, Yasir, and the mother of Ammar Yasir, Sumayya. Salamullah alayhima. Again, we have to mention some of the companions. Inshallah, one day, if we have time, we would only talk about the companions of the Prophet, companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen. What happened with them? They used to go through so much struggle, and the only thing that was demanded from them, psychological struggle, mental struggle, psychological warfare. You just have to say that there are more than one God and you'll be safe. We won't say to you anything. Bilal, he had to go through a struggle. They were massacred really badly. They were treated badly. They were oppressed so badly. Only one thing was asked. Just say there are more gods than one. But they kept saying, Ahad, Ahad, Ahad. There is only one God, and only one God. And you know how were they martyred? One leg of Yasir was latched into one camel. The other leg of Yasir was latched into the second camel. And both were forced to go in opposite directions. Allah. Imagine the person being in two half pieces because one was taking there, the other was taking there. See the struggle they have to go through. So my younger brothers and sisters, especially for you, if you ever go through the mental struggle, if you ever go through the pain, Prophet was only saying them one thing. My brother that asked me the question, Prophet just said to them one thing. Sabrun ala Yasir, maw'idukumul jannah. That, oh, the family of Yasir, have patience. Give the martyrdom that you're supposed to. Your promise is paradise. Yes, sometimes Ya Ali Madad will make your work easy. But sometimes Allah wants you to go through the struggles and trials. Why? Because Allah wants some Mithamut Tammar. Allah wants some Kumail ibn Ziyad. Allah wants some like Rushayd al-Hajari. Allah wants someone like Sumayya, someone like Yasir, someone like Ammar, someone like Hashim Mirqal. They all laid their lives. For whom? For the love of Ahlul Bayt, for the love of Allah, for the love of the Prophet. So inshallah, with this, we end our lecture. We end our 5 days lecture series with this intention that may Allah, inshallah, give us the ni'mat, this blessing of martyrdom, inshallah, in His way, inshallah. If there is one beautiful dua that we can ask, is the dua of the martyrdom, that if we can get this martyrdom by the wasila of Shuhadai Karbala, inshallah, alayhimus salam. And may Allah, inshallah, accept all of our hajat. May Allah accept all of our supplication and the duas that we are asking. And Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, please forgive our marhumin and please forgive all of our sins that we have committed throughout our lives. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.